$42 billion. That was the estimated fortune of Anil Ambani at the peak of his success in 2008, according to Forbes. At that moment, he was ranked among the 6 richest people on the planet. His wealth exceeded the annual budgets of several countries, and his companies were seen as the future of India's industrial expansion. But what followed became one of the most dramatic collapses in modern business history. Just 12 years later, in 2020, Anil Ambani stood in a courtroom in London and calmly said words that stunned the financial world. "My net worth is zero. Zero. No liquid assets, no personal financial reserve, nothing left of what once looked like an endless fortune." This is not a story about one bad decision. It is a story about ambition, debt, and a long refusal to slow down. Anil Ambani was born into one of the most powerful business families in India. His father, Dhirubhai Ambani, built Reliance Industries from nothing, turning a small trading operation into one of the country's largest conglomerates. By the time of his death in 2002, Dhirubhai Ambani was already a living legend. But he left behind more than an empire. He left behind a problem. There was no clear succession plan, no written will that clearly divided control. And so the vast Reliance empire was effectively placed into the hands of 2 very different brothers, Mukesh and Anil. Mukesh Ambani was reserved, quiet, and methodical. He spoke little, avoided publicity, and focused on long-term stability. Anil Ambani was the opposite. He was charismatic, media-friendly, confident in public appearances, and comfortable being the face of ambition. For several years, tension grew between them. The conflict was rarely discussed openly, but inside the company, everyone felt it. In 2005, the family made a decision to divide the business, and at first glance, Anil Ambani appeared to walk away. As the winner, Mukesh retained oil, petrochemicals, and heavy industry. Stable, predictable, profitable, but not glamorous. Anil received telecommunications, power generation, financial services, and infrastructure, sectors that looked like the future, fast growth, big promises, massive upside. For a while it worked. Anil's companies expanded aggressively. Reliance Power launched one of the largest public offerings in Indian history. Reliance Communications became a major player in the telecom market. In 2008, Forbes estimated Anil Ambani's personal wealth at $42 billion, making him the 6th richest person in the world. It looked like he had not only caught up to his brother, but surpassed him on the global stage. But behind the shine, there was a fragile foundation. Almost the entire empire was built on borrowed money. Power plants were constructed before they produced revenue. Telecom networks expanded in an already crowded market. Loans piled up faster than profits. By the early 2010s, the combined debt of Anil Ambani's companies had climbed into the tens of billions of dollars. Analysts warned. Credit ratings were downgraded, but the expansion continued. Because stopping would have meant admitting that size and stability are not the same thing. Then came the turning point. In 2016, a new telecom company entered the Indian market, Reliance Jio. Founded by Anil's own brother, Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh did what no one expected. He offered free voice calls and extremely cheap mobile internet. For consumers, it was a revolution. For Anil's telecom business, it was a disaster. Reliance Communications began losing customers at an alarming rate. Revenue collapsed. By 2017, the company could no longer survive. It exited the mobile business and soon entered bankruptcy proceedings. At that point, the company's debt had reached several billion dollars. This was the moment when drastic cuts could have saved parts of the empire. But they never came. Instead, the collapse accelerated. Reliance Communications went bankrupt. Reliance Naval failed financially. Reliance Power reported massive losses. Reliance Capital accumulated debts worth several billion dollars. Banks began filing lawsuits. Creditors demanded repayment. In 2019, India's Supreme Court warned Anil Ambani that he could face jail time over unpaid dues to Ericsson. Only a last-minute intervention by Mukesh Ambani prevented that outcome. Soon after, Chinese banks filed a lawsuit in the United Kingdom over unpaid loans worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And then, in 2020, under oath in the High Court of London, Anil Ambani said the words that marked the end of an era: "My net worth is zero." It was the official conclusion of a story that had unfolded over nearly 2 decades. After that, the pressure did not stop. In 2024, India's market regulator banned Anil Ambani and several of his companies from participating in the securities market for 5 years, citing misuse of funds at Reliance Home Finance. Investigations continued. In 2025, India's Enforcement Directorate launched probes into alleged money laundering connected to loans worth tens of billions of rupees from Yes Bank. Authorities accused the group of routing funds through complex networks of shell companies. Major assets linked to the Ambani Group were targeted, including the massive Dhirubhai Ambani Knowledge City, a corporate complex valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. Today, Anil Ambani rarely appears in public. The empire is gone. The influence is gone. The status that once seemed permanent has disappeared. Meanwhile, Mukesh Ambani has become one of the richest people in the world, with a fortune exceeding $100 billion. 2 brothers, 1 surname. 2 radically different outcomes. Anil Ambani's story is not simply about losing money. It is about mistaking growth for progress and ambition for direction. It is about how the greatest losses begin long before bankruptcy, at the moment when a person refuses to slow down. And it is a reminder that in the world of power and finance, success is never guaranteed to last, but the consequences of unchecked ambition always do.